In Washington, D.C., an unprecedented delegation of Russian church leaders met with congressmen and American Christian leaders. One of their goals was to help cool tempers and warm relations between the two countries. The Billy Graham Evangelistic Association sponsored their visit.
At a time when the relationships between Russia and the United States are rather icy, needless to say, to bring the church leaders together and basically allow them to pray together, hoping and praying to God that somehow this people-to-people contact, leader-to-leader contact, church-to-church contact will help to ease the situation and the tensions that do exist.
I think this is a historical moment, and God allowed us to come to United States to be church representatives. I hope this event in the future will lead our political leaders to listen each other, to looking for the ways how our nations will come to the understanding and bring peace to the world.
I sat down with some of them to discuss issues affecting the Russian church. Church attendance has skyrocketed in Russia since the collapse of the former Soviet Union. One evangelical leader told me while Christian programming on Russian television is limited, satellite broadcasts are making a difference.
Слава Богу, praise God that those programs are bringing gospel in the families and people are finding salvation.
Pentecostal Bishop Sergei Ryakovsky says many Russians are experiencing signs and wonders.
And it appears to be the more quantity of miracles, but the miracles were all the times before.
And as the Russian church has grown, so too has persecution against evangelicals in the former Soviet states and Russia. We're hearing more reports of discrimination and persecution against Christians and the church in Russia. What can you tell us about that?
There are some problems of discrimination in several regions. We have a liberal law about freedom of conscience and religion in Russia, but not too many government workers and pastors have read it. We're trying to change this situation, and for the last 5 years, more than 600 priests have got the highest education from the government, civil education.
So what is the biggest challenge facing the Russian church today? Ryakovsky says, like many of their American counterparts, Russians struggle to pay their bills and feed their families. But they also struggle with materialism and other sins.
And these tastings, what are for everybody is the same.
Аморальность, растление.
Immorality, sexual behavior, and destructive family values. I'm so thankful to the American church when they prayed in the time when Russia was the Soviet Union. And I think we owe to American Christians, and we need to bring our debt back because we need to pray more for American Christians.
But for now, as relations between Washington and Moscow cool, these Russian church leaders warmly greet Americans, bringing a message of friendship and peace. Gary Lane, CBN News, Washington.